The third and fourth episode of Boysplannet has already aired, and in the third episode, the group battles began. In the first mission, the K group and G group trainees competed against each other, performing the same song. So, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my ranking of the performances from episodes 3 and 4. Remember my ranking based on my opinion and my experience while watching the performances. But before starting my ranking, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any content. It is disappointing to see that even after rigorous training, the G group trainees only managed to secure 14th place. This is not the kind of music I listen to. I confess that the sound of this music does not please me very much. The performance didn't impress me. During the performances there were some mistakes. I thought the voices didn't match the music and they didn't seem like a synchronized and connected group. It is evident that the trainees were struggling to maintain their pitch, and at times, their vocals were simply too high-pitched to sing. This is a song that demands energy and a lot of charisma. Some of the trainees' facial expressions were static, and the group lacked the necessary energy to pull off this performance. While some trainees did manage to perform well, the group's overall performance left a lot to be desired. Some members' voices overlapped, making it difficult to appreciate their voices as a group. They were unable to sing in unison, detracting from the overall quality of the performance. As I said earlier to G group, the sound of this song is not what I usually listen to, but K group was still comparatively better than G group. The K group had more attitude and energy during their performance, making it more engaging for me. However, the trainees still struggled with some parts of the song, and their vocals sounded out of tune or too high to be comfortably sung. Despite these flaws, the group's cohesion and synchronization were better than the G group. When they sang together, their performance sounded more harmonious, but it was still not enough to secure a higher ranking in the competition. The K group's performance was not terrible, but it was not impressive either, leaving me with an overall average impression. While there were some good moments, there were also noticeable mistakes that detracted from the overall quality of the performance. The trainees' vocals were stable, except for the high notes, which proved to be a challenge. Despite these shortcomings, the trainees managed to maintain a reasonable level of consistency throughout the performance. However, given the level of competition, average performance was not enough to secure a higher ranking. Although the song was challenging to perform and had some mistakes and off-key moments, the trainees displayed a lot of charisma, which made for an enjoyable and engaging performance. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't great either. The performance of G group in this particular song was quite enjoyable to watch, as they managed to bring out the fun aspect of the music. Despite some noticeable mistakes, the overall performance was entertaining and engaging. Some trainees stood out and showed significant progress in their skills, putting up a good performance that was impressive to watch. Despite the flaws, the energy and enthusiasm of the trainees made the performance enjoyable, highlighting their potential for growth and development. I think both performances of 17th Nice were quite similar, with both having their fair share of mistakes and good moments. However, upon closer observation, the K group's performance was better, with fewer mistakes and more in-tune vocals. As a result, they deserve a higher ranking. While there were still some noticeable mistakes in the performance, the K group's overall consistency and synchronization were superior to the G group, which is reflected in their ranking. This particular group showcased an impressive amount of charisma and attitude during their performance, which was undoubtedly captivating to watch. The trainees appeared to possess a great deal of strength and determination, which was admirable. However, despite their impressive show of vigor, the performance was not without its shortcomings. There were some standout moments, particularly from Ricky, who seemed to embody the essence of the song and delivered a standout performance that was impressive to watch. In general, the trainees delivered a stable performance that showcased their collective talent. The group's vocals blended well together, creating a cohesive sound that was pleasing to the ear. While the performance may not have been particularly remarkable, it was still a good one, demonstrating the trainees' skill and potential. Overall, the trainees managed to deliver a solid performance, albeit one that may not have stood out among others. To be honest, I'm getting tired of seeing Blackpink's Kill This Love, How You Like That and Da-Da-Do being performed over and over again on survival shows. Don't get me wrong, I think the girls are incredibly talented and Blackpink has a great discography that could be explored on survival shows. Still, the lack of diversity in song choices at these competitions can be disappointing and doesn't give contestants the chance to showcase their skills with different K-pop styles and artists. As for the K-group, while the performance may have been decent, it did not offer anything new or innovative and was rather generic. I thoroughly enjoyed the performance and was blown away by Jae's amazing vocals. In my opinion, he is ready to debut right now. It was great to see the group having fun on stage, but I must admit that there were some moments where their performance wasn't quite in sync. The choreography is quite demanding, and some of the G-group trainees seemed to struggle with certain lines that didn't quite fit their vocal range. However, when they all sang together, their harmony was truly beautiful, especially during the high note parts where Jae really stood out. In my view, the top three performances were quite comparable. The vocals were consistently strong, the rapping was impressive, the dancing was flawless, and the energy, charisma, and attitude were all on point. While the tuning was very similar across these three presentations, I had slightly more enjoyment watching the other two. Therefore, I would rank this performance third. Nonetheless, it was a solid performance overall. Although I think that it would be great to see other Blackpink songs explored more on survival shows, I must say that this performance was truly sensational. The group's charisma and attitude on stage were awesome, and the vocals were simply fantastic. While the rap was good, it was the group's harmonized vocals that really stood out to me. Overall, the performance was very impressive and it definitely made them look like a group ready to debut. I had trouble deciding which performance to place in first, but ultimately I believe this group's performance was superior. The harmony of their voices was excellent, and they sang in perfect unison. While I prefer Jae's vocal style and performance in the high notes, we also delivered an impressive performance. The group as a whole put on a great performance and it was evident that they were having a great time performing together. That concludes my ranking for the third and fourth episodes of Boys Planet. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to share your own rankings in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.